It was so hard for me and I went through so much pain and trauma there. If you don't release the trauma in your body, it will pop up in other aspects of your body. And trauma is so many different things to so many people.
Dani K Bissaker, it is amazing to have you here. Super excited to be bringing you and your talents as a money and mindset queen.
I actually opened my own personal training business and that's how we became connected. And my boot camp business, we have a beautiful community, but it's also thanks to our amazing high ticket business model that we do now with Enagic, absolutely incredible business model. And from that, we've been able to generate an incredible amount of money. One of my strongest mission is just empower women to get their own money. So you don't have to ask for money. Never fake it till you make it. And I feel that that's why we have done so well in business, because we truly are authentic. If you love what you do, you'll never feel like you're working.
Cosmic Money, the podcast, the strategy and energetics of seven-figure business. Hello, gorgeous beings. Welcome to today's podcast of Cosmic Money. I had to think about that for a second, mostly because I'm so excited for today's guest. A long-term, I don't even know what to call you, colleague, friend, like we've been floating around each other's realm for, I reckon it's not quite 10 years, but it's got to be like, in that realm of things. Dani K Bissaker, it is amazing to have you here. We're super excited to be bringing you and your talents as a money and mindset queen to Cosmic Money. It's so perfect. It's everything that we're about, the strategy, the energy, and you absolutely encompass all of that. And I was just saying to you, before we came on here, why I'm super excited about this chat. Because I over the last, however long it's been, 10 years, have been able to watch portions of your journey and see you transform, genuinely so, from, what you were doing. And you're going to tell us all about that in a minute, what you were doing before to what it is that you do now, and all of the amazing magic and messy middle. And I get to see you be out there just caring so deeply about humans and really wanting to help women and families and people's lives, with a really unique model, of business. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation today, to bring people an idea of potentiality and what is out there and also what it takes. So hello,
Beautiful being. How are you?
So tell us, I'm just going to throw you straight in the deep end, my love. Tell us about this journey that I've been alluding to of, where you've come from and where we've landed now and, and everything in between, really.
Yeah, well, okay. Thank you so much for today. I'm so privileged to be here with you, beautiful Sky. So I don't know, I guess I can start from the beginning. I am originally a Tassie girl. I then moved to Melbourne and worked in the corporate world for a good 13 years. And I thought I'd made it. I was earning 120 grand a year. Great office job. And, but what? I was leaving home in the dark, working in a cubicle all day and getting home in the dark. And I was always available 24/7. And I was just like, this is not how I want to live my life. There's got to be a better way to get ahead. And I remember going to work and I would see women in cafes or women out and about and people doing stuff. I'm thinking, why aren't they at a job? Why aren't they working? What are they doing, kind of thing? So that got me curious at the start. And it was when I had my two young boys that I decided to have a total sea change and career change, and I moved up to the beautiful Sunshine Coast in Queensland. And I actually opened my own personal training business, and that's how we became connected, and my boot camp business. So I had more flexibility there. I could then do sessions around my two young boys. I could then have all day to myself with my boys and just do sessions morning and evening and a few PT clients scattered throughout there. However, I was not making anywhere near the same amount of money that I was earning in Melbourne, like not even close. I had the flexibility, but I didn't have the money to match. And it was when I started looking at other options there too. I was like, okay, I need to bring another source of income in. So I started doing a low ticket network marketing hustle thing on the side. So I found myself doing coffee shop meetings, presentations, late night events. I was literally dragging my boys around everywhere, and I was so little and I still wasn't making any money really. I was making a couple $100 here and there, and low ticket is earning commissions between $50 a sale or something like that. It's not a lot of money. It's not going to set
for a lot of work.
A lot of work,
energy and time.
And I was burnt out. I was getting up at 4:30 in the mornings, getting ready for my boot camp sessions. And then I'd come home, get the kids ready for daycare or school or whatever was going on, or just being a mum. And then I was doing coffee shop meetings all throughout the day, running around. And then I'd have PT clients in the afternoon and in the evening. I was living on coffee. Like I literally had
giving me like flashbacks right now as well. I feel like I'm just like triggered by, I know what you're talking about.
I know. It was like 3 or 4 coffees a day. I had full on adrenal fatigue. Like I looked fit though. Like I was fit. I was pretty lean. I was never sitting down. I was really not eating a lot. I was kind of like, I'd have a decent breakfast and lunch, but I just wasn't hungry. I was very active. I was always moving around. And it was actually around that time that I found out my husband at the time, I've got a new one now, which I'll dive into later. But my husband at the time had been having an affair behind my back for 2 years, all throughout my second pregnancy with my little one. So we had actually moved up from Melbourne and come to Queensland, and I had found out this. That rocked my world in such a massive, massive way, because here I was busting my butt, trying to, do my part for the family, be a mum, super busy, doing like literally everything. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I've got no money. Like I have got, like I'm getting paid dribs and drabs through my PT business and stuff, but it was not enough for myself to really live on. So that was a real line in the sand moment for me. And during that time also, like I'd always have to, before I started my PT business and I was like a stay-at-home mum when my boys were really little, like, under 12 months, I remember having to ask for money to go get my hair done, or money to go get a massage, or money to go buy a new top for a weekend event that we might have on, because I didn't have my own money. So that's what drove me to do create my own business, to have my own money. However, when all this kind of happened, I was like, this is not enough money, for me to live on, for me to call it here. For what do I do here? Do I stick around and write it out and try and make it work for the kids, or do I call it? Yeah.
There's something that I want to flag here, even in this portion of your journey so far. And it's the idea that, like, let me change the words, right? You were sitting there in your mind going, there has to be another way, right? Like, would you agree with that? Like, you knew that what you were doing was just not it, and you wanted for more, more time, more freedom, more lifestyle, more choice, all of these beautiful things. And it's so fascinating that there's a podcast episode sitting on my mind that I haven't yet actually recorded, but I know it's coming. And it's really about exactly what you're talking about, that not all business models are made the same. Some will have you hustling for low dollar clients, giving up like an arm and a leg in your firstborn child kind of thing, trading one-on-one time for money, which again, like I come from the fitness model of things as well. And that was very much what we do, burning the candle at both ends of the day. And for capped income. And sometimes there's this spark, and I think some of our listeners would be sitting there right now with that same spark inside of them, just going, oh, like there has to be another way.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why one of my strongest mission is just empower women to get their own money. So you don't have to ask for money. I felt powerless. I felt powerless when I had to ask for money to go get things, even though I was contributing being a mum and raising our 2 little boys. That just really, it was de-edifying. I didn't like that feeling. So that's when I was like, I've really got to make this work. I've really got to bring in some other kind of income. We went through counselling. We tried to make things work. It didn't work. So I caught it there, and I was like, this is once the trust is broken, it's broken. There's no point. Yeah. So that's another story there.
Yes.
But
I'm like, do we unpack this? Do we not unpack? Not today.
No, not today. But you know what? I'm so grateful.
It's horrifying, though. It is horrifying. Yeah. Let's just bookmark that. It's horrifying. Like that you've gone through that, and that anyone would have to go through that. Like there's no other word. It fucking sucks, And like the fact that, because I know your existence now to an extent, that you get to be in this place now of overjoyedness, and love and lifestyle and all of that is so amazing. But it took you taking back your own personal power, to get there.
Totally. And I'm so grateful now I look back on it that happened, even though it was so hard for me and I went through so much pain and everything and trauma there. But I'm so glad because what I have now. And that's, I believe, everything happens to us for a reason. It truly, truly does. And it makes you so grateful for the life you have now. So now, fast forward, let's fast forward like 8 years later, I'm now remarried to a beautiful man and I am so, so happy. And it's so nice and beautiful to be in a relationship that you are truly happy. And it makes such a massive difference to how you live your life, how every day unfolds and what you bring to this world, because I now have the joy vibes. I now spread these beautiful joy codes to everyone that just to live your life with fun and abundance, because I know what it's like to be in a relationship, to live a life where you're not happy and you're not fulfilled. Yeah.
I love what I love about your love is that you guys are such a team as well. And I just feel like, you're absolutely on each other's side and you lift each other up and you're cheering each other on and, in all areas of life and stuff like that. And that really translates, and for anyone, I mean, please everybody go find Dani online and give her a follow. What she is online, this is always the question, right? Is what you are online aligned with existence, real existence? Is that actually the picture, And I know for you, it just simply is. Yeah. It's not this fabrication. It is you just in your joy and in your love and in your team and in your expansiveness and mission and all of those things.
And that's it. And we're always being strong in our word to always be your most authentic self. Never fake it till you make it. And I feel that that's why we have done so well in business, because we truly are authentic. It's just, we are just ourselves. We're normal people. There's nothing special about me or us. I'm a Tassie girl originally, but I just had that mission and drive to make my life better. And I made the changes to follow, and it's just paid me off big time. Yeah.
So talk to us about some of those changes then. What feels like were some of the, because it doesn't always just magically happen overnight. We'd love that. Overnight success that took 10 years. However, what were the big changes, the pivotal moments? What did you do step by step? Take us through a few of the things. I was like, okay, first I did this and then that transformed and then, next bit and then the next bit.
Definitely a lot of personal development, really working on myself, making myself the best version of myself, because you've got to have your cup full before you can fill anyone else's. So really working on me, taking the time out for me, and not being so hard on myself, just taking the time on me to heal. That was a journey. I had a beautiful shaman that took me through a 12-month container, and I unpacked a lot of beautiful things with her, which helped me so much, because if you don't release the trauma in your body, it will create and pop up in other aspects of your body. And trauma is so many different things to so many people. So getting that out of your system is so important. So I'm so grateful for that beautiful 12-month container I have with the amazing Adelina Vaughan. And also, yes, definitely finding the right community around us. Here on the Sunshine Coast, we have a beautiful community, but it's also thanks to our amazing high-ticket business model that we do now with Enagic, which is an absolutely incredible business model. And from that, we've been able to generate an incredible amount of money and really get my financial independence back and reclaim my power, and to do it alongside my husband now, my new beautiful husband, and do it together as a team. It's super powerful too, but we have amazing people within our community to also do this solo as well. But I've always had a passion to help people and inspire people to be their best versions, and that's why I feel, that's why I loved being a personal trainer and doing boot camp sessions and having fun with life. And then now to have this online business where we can impact people globally. I can 10x my vision now thanks to the internet, and because of the high ticket commissions. It's the same amount of work what I was doing before, without all the hustle of running around and being a headless chook as such, because now I have the automation thanks to the internet, and sharing what we have makes it so much easier.
I've spent my life obsessed with the strategy and energetics of seven-figure business. I've literally traveled the world trying to crack the code. And what I've found is that when you couple the pursuit of making massive amounts of money With the strategy and science of success, plus having a desire for significant impact and contribution, magic happens. That's why I created a free 21-day next level vortex money mission magic. Hell yes to that. This 21-day quantum business challenge is here to shift you into new timelines and realities. 21 days to quantum shift your impact, business, and your bank account. These carefully crafted and channeled tools are the exact things I've used to create a life beyond my wildest dreams, and I'm not done yet. If you're ready for incredible transformation now in all areas of your life, more money and financial freedom, freedom of time, freedom of lifestyle, freedom of choice, better, more connected relationships, greater levels of health, and simply calling in more magic into every single day, then these 21 days are going to blow your mind. 21 days of powerful universal, behavioral, and strategic tools to quantum shift your internal state so that you start to see massive changes in your external reality, bringing the metaphysical into the physical. Join the challenge now and get ready for the most powerful 21-day expansion to quantum shift your impact, business, bank account, and your life.
Cosmic Money, the podcast, the strategy and energetics of seven-figure business. And so I actually want to give you the opportunity and the platform to be able to talk us through that a little bit more. Now, what I want the listeners to understand is, why I do that. I'm not affiliated with Enagic at the moment or anything like that. Dani and I have had many conversations over the years, on the edge, because I do actually understand the business model, but more so than understanding the business model and going, the strategic human in me is always like, fuck yes, that's good business. Like that makes sense. And I want you to take us through some of that in a second. But what I truly love about, what it is that you're doing is genuinely, and I don't say this flippantly, but the community aspect of it, that everyday people who maybe don't necessarily have the business acumen or maybe don't have a vehicle themselves, are actually able to step into a business model that enables high ticket sales, that is going to bring in the dollars that they are after, but also to be so supported and not just within business, but in life and at friendships and it's real, So I would love your internal take on, all of that. And obviously, please give the listeners a bit of an idea about Enagic, because I do think it is smart business for anyone who is struggling for an idea themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And in full transparency, when I came across Enagic, because I was a personal trainer at the time, I was always educated around nutrition and exercise, but never around water. We were always just told, just drink 8 glasses a day, that was it. So when I came across Enagic, this is a medical grade water ionizer machine from a 50-year-old company. The company turns 50 this year in June 2024. And when I became educated around what these water ionizers do, it blew me away. I was like, wow, even if we don't do the business side of this, I am so getting one of these models, one of these machines, because what it does to the water, not only does it filters the water, but it also alkalizes the water by electric charge. So it's not by chemical change with alkaline water where you put a tablet in and it'll be chemical change. This is by electricity charge, and it's like an electric bolt on the water. So it's like having an electric bolt in the ocean kind of thing. It's alive water, whereas bottled water itself, there's this misconception that it's good for you, that's better, but it's not. It's quite acidic because it sits in that plastic for a good 6 to 12 months before it is in the fridge from the shop you buy it from. And you have also the microplastics that leach into that plastic. It's also dead water. It is literally dead water. So this is a live water, and it's very acidic water, the pH of the bottled water. If you do the pH drops in there, it comes out quite yellow and acidic. Same with mineral water.
I need to do that. I just got in trouble. Dani just, she was like, oh my God, because she saw that I just took a sip out of a bottle of water before we came on here today. And I have it's called a K8. I have a very high quality machine, that we got many years ago. And again, obviously coming from health science, nutritional medicine and things like that myself, I had that understanding that, the water that we're drinking is actually important, and as well, we're energy. And so what we put in ourselves, dead food, alive food, or, dead water, alive water, it actually matters, not just for us to sit here and have a conversation about a business model or something. Like, it's not that. It's actually, if you are out there and wanting to achieve at a high level, then these things matter. What you feed your body matters. What you feed your mind matters, so that you can have the level of success that you're after. And what I wanted to say about, partly why I made that decision was we moved house, to the house that we're in at the moment. We've probably been here about, 5-6 years or something now. And I could smell the water, that was coming from the tap, and I could taste it. And I was like, this is not okay. I was like, I don't want that. And I literally couldn't drink the water from our own house. It's not horrendous, but I could tell. And I was like, oh, like this, I don't want that in my body, and I think we get the desal water, to be honest with you. Like, so I'm drinking ocean water, chemical, whatever. And I was like, no, I'm good, thanks. Like, it's important. Like, it's so important for our, even our productivity and our aliveness and, and obviously our cellular levels and all the different things as well.
Totally. And I don't know like all the scientific facts around it, but it literally breaks it down to a cellular level. So it hydrates your body so much faster than tap water. I mean, even there's a misconception that rainwater is better for you. But if you've got collarbone on your roof, if your roofs are dirty, if your drains are dirty, if your tank is dirty, that's all going in there and sitting in there. Same thing, it's dead water. That's not good for you either.
You don't know where, with rainwater, you don't know where that water's coming from because it's literally, it's sewage water that's then evaporating into the atmosphere, that's going up into the clouds, that's then being rained down on us. So it's not just like it's pure water coming from the heavens and thank you God. It's literally like, look at a fucking dirt puddle that's like out there on the street. That's the same as the rainwater that's then coming down.
Totally. That's why people get, weird ass things happening to their bodies. They get parasites, they've got all stuff going on. If you don't have if you don't have some kind of filtration system going on, your body is the filter. And same with reverse osmosis, that strips the minerals from the water. It's just getting educated around water. So this is clean, pure, the best alkalized water out there on the market. And for a giant in the industry, like 49-year-old company, like it's no startup, you never have to worry about not getting paid your commissions. But the good thing is with this, you feel so good when you sell someone one of these machines because you know that it's going to help them so much with their health. So my parents are like, oh, we're on a farm, we're on the best water in the world, we're on tank water, and now they've got two machines. One in their main house, one down the beach house. But it feels so good to know that they're drinking the best water. It's not like, oh, I'll sell you a machine, but don't tell me if you have any issues. Like it just doesn't happen that way. People are like, oh my God, I feel so good drinking this water. What is in this water? Like it doesn't smell. There's no smell. You shouldn't smell chlorine in your water.
Taste it. Yeah, exactly.
It just tastes fresh, like off a waterfall kind of thing. It is alive water. And you shouldn't be drinking. That's where we get the, fluoride, the chlorine, and all these nasties and chemicals into our bodies that, that's why things are happening in our system. That's why people are getting eczema and all these diseases in their systems. By simply changing the pH setting, you've got like over 100 different uses too. It's not just drinking water. You can change from 2.5, which is like a hand sanitizer, clean down your shopping blocks for pimples, scratches, whatever, right up to the 11.5, which is a degreaser. So it removes all the herbicides, pesticides off your fruit and veggies. Like even if you buy organic food, there's still spray chemicals on that food, and if you don't wash that off or soak that off, you are ingesting that. So, and you'll be blown away when you soak it in like your strawberries or your broccoli or the tomatoes.
Apples. Oh my God. Apples. I just don't eat them. I'm like, I can't eat an apple with how like that waxy, covering and stuff. I'm just, can't bring myself to it these days.
And that's it. People are ingesting all of these toxins and chemicals. When they spray all the produce, they're wearing all the mask and all the white gear and, they're covered over.
I still wouldn't even trust that. Like, we've had the pest inspectors, come and do a thing like where we're in a big complex and sometimes they do a little spray outside. And I always sit there and they're just wandering around with just a mask on. I'm like, it's absorbing into your skin and it's a neurotoxin. Like I will either not be at home or everything will be shut. Like, it baffles me sometimes. And I think, I want to make clear to everyone, it's so funny. We're not here to do an infomercial today. I promise you that. The whole conversation is that we just aren't even thinking about these things that could be affecting us so greatly in our daily lives. Like, and the nutritionist in me gets fired up like you, I can hear too. But it's like, the toxicity, the buildup, the heavy metals and stuff like that, the symptoms that we're having, like you said, eczema, brain fog, all kinds of different things, like, tired all day long, or wired and tired because our nervous system's shot. And at the same time, we just can't seem to catch up. The analogy that I always love is you've got to think about it like a bathtub where the tap is on and the plug is in, and we only have, I think it's 4. We only have 4 detoxification channels: respiration, perspiration, defecation, urination. Like, that's it. There's 4 ways we get rid of toxicity. And so if we're, eating these foods that are covered in pesticides or chemicals or whatever it might be, if we're drinking water that's, again, same thing, chemical, we're then using deodorants, under our armpits that are antiperspirant. So I just said perspiration is only one of 4 detoxification channels for our body. So those deodorants are then full of aluminiums. So little note, ladies, if you haven't changed your deodorant, please do, because literally most of those antiperspirant deodorants have aluminium in it. And one of the greatest things that they find when they biopsy breast cancer is aluminium in those tumors. And we're getting it because it's literally in the deodorant that we're putting under our arms, that's then absorbing directly into those like lymph nodes, and we're blocking, like the bathtub analogy, we're putting the plug in, and the bathtub is spilling over. The face creams, the sunscreen, the this, the da-da-da, like, the lighting, the carpet is actually toxic as well. And we could send people insane, with all the different things. But anything that we can moderate that is going to help our body detoxify or have us feel more alive in ourselves, or, anything like that, you've got to pick your battles. And drinking quality water is such a simple way to just begin that process, of supporting your body,
Absolutely. I love that. So good. So true. And you do feel amazing drinking this water. You literally do feel charged. And I can't describe, even for I love my fitness. I love going for runs and lifting weights. I still love that stuff. And I love doing it just for me. And it feels so good to know that I recover faster. My energy levels are up there. Like, I just feel so good drinking this water. And even when my boys go to school, I have them fill up 2 bottles of water for summer. I don't drink out of the bubbler if you run out, I want them to be drinking the best water possible, because it does so much. And you think of it like the analogy with a car. You've got a beautiful hot car. You don't put shitty fuel into it. You don't put cheap fuel into it. You put the best quality fuel to get the best performance with your car. Same thing with your body. You want to look after your body, you want to put the best fuel in it, because you're made over 70% water. So fuel it with the good stuff and you will feel amazing.
Yeah. Oh, God. We could honestly just end podcast there. Like, it is about performance, put the good stuff in your body, and that is literally then the energetic experience we're going to, be able to have, and we will be able to be out there performing at our highest, whatever that may be. I think you and I are just very fiery and passionate about, health, fitness, nutrition, and humans, right? Like, it's about humans. So talk to us about your passion in relation to humans, and I know women in particular.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like I mentioned before, it's helping. I really want to help women have their own money, have their own choices, their own voice as such. And that's why I love this product, this business model, everything, this community, because I've made some of my bestest friends in this community. And even through COVID, through lockdown, the world shut down, it went crazy for a bit. Our business was booming, and our community was thriving because we all came together. We all had Zoom parties and connected, and our business boomed. It grew by 22%. Whereas so many businesses were crash and burning, it was growing, and there's no sign of it slowing down. Home-based businesses are just going to keep growing. It's just going to be the next 10 years. They're going to keep growing. Forbes recently announced again that digital marketing is going to be one of the highest paid professions again this year, as well as last year. It's not slowing down. And, to have a side hustle is the norm now. Most people have a couple of income streams because, what they're doing isn't making them much money. How do you survive on 50 grand a year? It's not going to set you free. If you want to really be set free, you've got to be in your own driving seat. Otherwise, you're just going to make someone else wealthy. the boss that owns that company as such. So be your own boss, be your own CEO, and have that full freedom lifestyle. And now I really, truly do have the both. I have the flexibility, the time freedom, and the money to match. So when my kids come home, I have the quality time with them. I get to do this business from home any time that suits me. Like this morning I went out for brekkie with my hubby. I did a great workout earlier. There was no rush. There's no frantic Monday morning. I've got to get somewhere by 8:30 and sit in a cubicle all day. I don't have any of that. I truly have the freedom lifestyle, and it's all thanks to this business model. So really supporting other women to just own their worth, to know that, and to know that they fully are so deserving to achieve a life of full abundance in so many areas of their life.
Talk to us about the business model then that, I wanted to ask you, obviously, what are the benefits for you? This is a two-part question. What are the benefits for you in your life? You just started touching on it. It's the time freedom, freedom of choice, freedom of lifestyle, freedom of finances. You're welcome to elaborate, obviously, on that. And then also talk to us about why this is one business model, that is able to give you those things. Why this business model? Why, the automation, the support, the different pieces that make it be able to scale and grow in such a way.
Yeah. Well, literally, I have an uncapped income. It just keeps going up and up and up. There's no that's it. You're going to hit that. That's going to be the top tier. That's it. We've hit the top rank 4 times now. 4 times we've hit the top rank. And this is over a 5-year period. And it just keeps going up and up and up and up. And the money within this company is incredible. Over the 5 years, we would have generated 1.2 mil, 1.3 mil, I would say. When we first got started, I was like, oh, wow, it'd be so great to have a 10K month. Now it's 10K month is so easy to achieve with this because of the high ticket commissions. So high ticket commissions is ranging from $365 to $6,000 per sale kind of thing. So I just need to make a couple of sales a month and I've had my 10K month. Just last month we had our first 50K month. And just to be able to do that, it's wow, that's what I was earning for a whole year when I was a PT. A whole year. So now it's
in a month.
Wow, and it's literally just having that appreciation for money too. One thing I've noticed along my journey is how it's all energy. It's all vibration. Money will come to you if it likes hanging out with you. If you're there constantly bitching about money, if you're another bill to pay, I've got no money, this, that, money is not going to land in your account. It literally won't want to hang out with you. If you hung out with a person like that, you wouldn't want to hang out with a person like that. They're constantly nagging and bitching. Same thing with money. Every time I receive money in my bank account, the little Commonwealth Bank, there's one there actually. There's 6 notifications. There we go. You've been paid, Commonwealth Bank. Okay. There you go. 6.
Have you just stayed?
No, that's legit. That's 14 minutes, 16 minutes ago. And it's literally, it's every time I receive this, I'm thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Even if it's just $50, if it's $5,000, $10,000, I'm always thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful. When I receive a bill, I'm thank you for having the electricity for the last month or 3 months, whatever. And thank you. When I fill up my car with beautiful petrol, showing gratitude.
Without having to take the bank account
That's
first.
it. Right? And not having to be in that scarcity and lack and not having to check the bank account. And same thing when you go to the supermarket, not having to get the thing that's on special that's 50 cents cheaper because, it all adds up. If I want to get the avocados, I'll get the avocados. If I want to get the blueberries, I'll get the blueberries. I don't look at the prices now. If I want to get the best organic meat because I know it's better for my body, I will get that for myself rather than getting the cheaper option, which is full of junk and rubbish and who knows what else is in there. So it's just really showing the gratitude towards money and showing, and just being grateful for it rather than complaining about it and being a negative charge with it. And from there, more money flows in. It's all the energy. It's all vibration. So I kind of went off at what we're talking about there, but yeah.
Gorgeous being. It is truly my honor to have you here joining me on this co-created adventure through the strategy and energetics of 7-figure business. However it is that you landed here, whether we know each other personally or professionally, whether a friend shared this podcast with you as they thought you might get something out of it, or whether you stumbled across me by sheer accident or divine intervention. I want to thank you for being here, and I want to ask you a little favor. It is my joy to do what it is that I do every single day. And so if you have received anything here, a piece of magic, a strategy, a mindset shift, something that has transformed you in some way, I ask that you share this podcast with others so that together we can transform the world for the better. One business, one human, one frequency, and one podcast at a time. Cosmic Money, the podcast. The strategy and energetics of seven-figure business.
I literally wrote the things down because I want our listeners to be able to bottle what it is that you're saying. All right. So if it's like, let's say it's kind of 4 key points to what I, say is 7-figure business modeling, right? Like business that is able to scale and grow. First thing is you need to have a business model that has uncapped financial potential. All right. And if you were trading one-on-one time for money, you are capped. If you can only give more time, or if you're in, a job, where you've got a salary, even if it's a good salary, like what is that going to increase by per year? And inflation continues to increase, whereas, our like job pays do not. It's that simple. So you want to have a business model that has uncapped potential. The second thing I'll get you to elaborate on in a second is automation and leverage time. The third thing is finding a business model that has high ticket options. So for me, I teach, coaches how to build and scale, and grow high ticket mentorship programs and things like that, because again, all of these reasons. And the fourth thing you said, is gratitude. And we talk about that here all the time, the frequency of money. It's actually really important, because if we could be repelling it, in everything that we do, or we could be celebrating it, and what are we going to see, and what's going to come more towards us is more money.
Yeah.
So talk to us about automation and leverage time. That was the one. I know that that's a part of it as well. Expand.
Definitely. So we leverage a platform called the Freedom Era, which is absolutely incredible. And from this platform, it literally teaches you step by step how to create a thriving 5, 6, 7-figure business online, and through using Enagic as the high ticket model. And from this has replaced me doing all those coffee shop meetings, all those presentations, all those late night events, like running around with the kids. Now I just send a link, and then someone can watch a video link, and then they're all coded back to me. So I'll get an email saying, Joe Blow just checked out your video. I'm like, oh, sweet. So I'll message Joe Blow, and then we have to start a conversation kind of thing. It also teaches you all around marketing, sales. It's got all your funnels pre-built in there. It's got absolutely everything in there. So when I threw myself into this business, because like I mentioned, I had that line in the sand moment. I was like, I need to make some money here. I just threw myself in. I was a student, and I just went through these modules and worked my way through them, and I just implemented what I was being taught. There's no point going to these self-development, webinar conferences and doing these courses if you're not going to implement what you're being taught. So I took action, and from there, it's just, it just threw me into what this business model has done for me. So just being a student. But the great thing is, it wasn't like, oh, I've got to do a training today. It's like, it's really interesting stuff. It's all about the online space, and it might be about Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform you want to use. You could use TikTok. You can also just lead with the water and lead with the product. There's so many different ways to do this business. We lead with the lifestyle, and that is because of the commissions we earn, and we leverage the platform, and we let the platform do the explaining for us. But we also do a little bit of the product too, because the product is phenomenal, and absolutely everybody needs this product. Everyone should be drinking this water. It does so much for your health and wellness. So to be able to help people with their health and wealth is truly incredible.
It's like 2 main areas of our life, right? Like health and wealth, like most important things.
Yeah.
What would you say then, some of the main characteristics? I feel like you already touched on them. Ones that resonate deeply with me, key characteristics of success. So I love that you said, personal development and learning. Like, I'm such a forever learner, and also obviously then taking action is kind of important of the things that you've learned. Do you have anything else? Like, what would you say? The biggest characteristics for success.
I would say being coachable. Like being a coachable person, just knowing how to listen to others and go, okay, implement things. Don't feel that the way you've done things over the years is the right way to do it. There's always new things evolving. To just have that open mindset and just be open to learning new things as well. And And just having that drive. If you have a strong mission, then nothing's going to get in your way. Like that's what if your why makes you cry, if you get out of bed in the morning and you're like, I want this, like this is going to happen, then you will achieve your target. And one of my biggest things I would say is if you love what you do, you never feel like you're working, and it sounds really cliche, but that's why most successful people are successful, because it truly lights them up. They get out of bed and they are so excited about what they do, So if you enjoy what you do, then it will catapult your results in a massive, massive way. And we truly do just love what we do. We love helping others. We love selling people these machines because they feel incredible. They last for 25 years minimum. And we love helping people with their finances as well, for them to see them retiring their partners, leaving their jobs, spending more time with their kids, being around more for their friends and family, to get out of debt. That feels so good. And also to be surrounded by a community of heart-centered people who are just on the same journey as you. That is what, all of that. We really have.
I think there's another word that I feel like is pouring out of you another value, and I would say connection. Like it's about that connection every single day and supporting people and making, a massive amount of impact. And you can kind of feel that, in your passion and in your mission as well, for sure. Yeah,
definitely.
So another question I want to ask you, I've had a lot of business owners coming to me and they're feeling as if, oh my gosh, like somebody ghosted me, or this sale or something fell through, or, I'm just beating myself up, and, all these different kinds of things. And I know that you actually have such a perfect perspective of that kind of stuff. You don't chase sales and or people, that you're not hustling or trying to oversell or whatever. Can you speak to that point? Because I know that it's so deep to people's hearts. I always sort of say it's business data, because I talk very strategically, within the businesses we work with. It's business data. It's not a personal thing. What's your take on that? Because I know it comes up for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I feel they're just not ready. It comes down to a few things. They haven't done their education, their research, their due diligence on their product properly. They don't have the money to get started. That could be something around that, which is even more reason to do this, because you'll be making money with this. Plus you've got an amazing product. Or the timing just isn't right. They just don't know if maybe their self-belief is a bit low. They may not feel that they could do this, so I can't do what you do kind of thing. But we have people still reach out to us from 4 or 5 years ago and say, are you still doing that water thing? And we're like, yeah. And they're like, okay, I'm ready now. And that's okay. There's no rush. We never try and push anything on anyone. But what we have here is truly incredible. I feel people are thinking, can I do this? Will you help me? And does it work? And we just truly show that in all aspects of our life. We try and keep this fun, because it doesn't have to be with hustle and burnout at all. The more fun we have, the more money we make. So I feel like and always being our authentic selves, always being ourselves. Like Dan did a reel yesterday, which was quite funny. And I literally just got back from a run. I had no makeup on, sweaty hair, and he did this funny reel. And I was like, you know what? It shows that it's authentic and it's real. I'm not going to get all polished and primed and perfect just for the real kind of thing. It's just how it is, like just to be yourself. And I think that's what makes people relate to you, as you build a brand as such, and people can relate to you. If they know, like, and trust you, then they'll want to buy from you. But you don't have to build a brand with what we have here. Like I mentioned before, you can use the leading with the product, but I just feel what we have here is truly incredible. So just really, I love to breathe that self-belief into people, especially women, that they can achieve anything they want, absolutely anything. And to be honest, probably 90% of people within the community are women, and they're crushing it. And whether it's because they've got that drive, they're home through the day, the kids are doing stuff, and they just want to have their own money, I don't know. But a lot of women crush this business. There's a few guys in here too, but the women do very well with what we have here.
What's your next edge? I'm going to ask. What are you planning? What's coming into your future? What's your next piece of growth?
Well, many things. We're running for a big target at the moment, big goal by Japan for the 50th anniversary, which is a rank of 6A2-3. With that will be, I think it's a 50K bonus, and it's and a lot of commissions coming along the way as well. So that is a big goal that we're running for at the moment, and just really supporting as many of our team to hit the top rank as well, and supporting them. I feel that that's our key focus for the next 5 months for sure. Yeah, and then home-wise, we just purchased our beautiful home here 2 years ago, and this home is beautiful. It's up on a hill. We have the most beautiful 180-degree view of the west. The sunsets we get is amazing, and we want to do renovations around a deck. Put a pool out on the deck, looking out like I want a real like fuck yeah reaction when people drive up my driveway.
Right. Okay.
Because I can, why do you have to keep normal? Just I want to make it amazing and just have celebrations around there when friends come around, and pool parties, and just fun, just enjoy your life, because we're only on this planet once from what we know. So just live it to your life. And what I shared earlier, it's once you know what it's like to be unhappy and in an unhappy place in your life, and to be in a happiness and have that joy and fun and freedom in your life, just attract more of it in.
And so our final question of today that I ask all of our guests is, if you had to give our listeners a piece of advice, around the strategy or energetics to, multi 6 and 7 figure business, what would your piece of advice to them be?
Yeah, I would say definitely work with automation, like I shared before. So if you don't have automation in your life, there's no freedom. You're literally just exchanging time for money. So that's one of my biggest things. To do your due diligence on your product, and, has it got a track record? Who's got the results? Is it legit kind of thing? Like, I'm always wary of startups and things like that. Like, do your due diligence and really investigate this company, and don't always believe what you read on Google, because anyone can put their opinion on Google as such. Jump on a Google Scholar, for Enagic, look at hydrogen enriched water. Jump on Google Scholar. What it does to your body is absolutely incredible. And I think to just do something that lights you up. What are you excited about? What is your mission? Who do you want to serve? Who do you want to help? What do you want to do with your life? If you can find something that ties all that together, where you can have a lot of fun along the way and get paid a lot of good money and be surrounded by an incredible community, you're going to crush it. And that's why I feel what we have here is the golden ticket.
Dani, thank you so much for being here with us today, like having your light and your inspiration. And as I said, watching your journey over the last few years, I think it's so important. The keys to success is, the right timing, the right environment, that connection, that community, the right vehicle for any individual person. And you definitely found yours, and the right version of you, that personal development and all the things that you've spoken to. So, I literally have goosebumps as we wrap this up, because I just know how valuable, your time is, your energy. And so thank you so much for sharing all of that with us today.
My pleasure, beautiful. Thank you so much for having me on today. It's been a real pleasure.